Hello everybody on the internet. Recently it was announced that EA Motive are making an Iron Man game, which has me so hyped. Tony Stark Iron Man is my favourite character of all time, and I think he has an underrated rogues gallery. So in this video, I am going to list my top 5 Iron Man villains. And I would love to see any of these villains in the Iron Man game. Number 5 is Ezekiel Stain. Obadiah Stane is a great villain, and of course was the MCU's first, but I like his son Ezekiel Stain even more. Ezekiel has a cool design and challenges Iron Man in a very disturbing way. Matt Fraction's Iron Man run is where Ezekiel really shines. He turns himself into a cyborg, thinking he's an improvement over Iron Man. His intellect and tech are very imitative of Tony's, but that's also what makes his plot so effective. Ezekiel Stain is one of the most interesting Iron Man villains. Number 4 is Aldrich Killian. I absolutely love Iron Man 3. It's my favourite Iron Man movie. Killian is a great villain. Guy Pearce was really fun to watch. It's crazy to think that they took a character who is literally only on 2 comic book pages shooting himself and made a villain out of him who tears Tony Stark's world apart. Like majority of Iron Man villains, Killian is a demon of Tony's own creation. The Extremis plot is very cool and makes Killian more than a physical match for Iron Man. Aldrich Killian is the best live action Iron Man villain. Number 3 is Madame Mask. This is a very underrated Iron Man villain who was done very differently in Agent Carter. Whitney Frost is a former lover of Tony who was horrifically scarred physically and mentally, and wears a gold mask to hide it. She's a villain who doesn't challenge Tony on a physical or technological level, and rather on an emotional level. She is very mentally ill, and is a skilled fighter and markswoman. She also has a funny appearance in Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run. Madame Mask is a very compelling villain. Number 2 is the Living Laser. I have always freaking loved the Living Laser. Just hearing that name is thrilling, and his design is awesome. Arthur Parks was a scientist whose body was destroyed and he became made of light and photons. He developed a power craze and a god complex, and is one of Iron Man's most powerful villains. The Living Laser was done perfectly in the Iron Man VR game, and has cool appearances in the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I really want to see the Living Laser in live action one day. But for the number 1, here are some honourable mentions. Ghost is one of the coolest villains who has had many awesome versions which are all unique in their own way. Ant-Man and the Wasp's version was especially compelling. Whiplash looks cool in the comics, but Iron Man 2 made him even better. He was scorned by Howard Stark and uses Tony's tech against him in revenge. The Mandarin is Iron Man's comic nemesis. Technology vs magic is cool, but I think the Mandarin is better fitted for Shang-Chi and was done amazingly in that movie. Number 1 is Crimson Dynamo. This is a villain who is very subjective, having had a million different designs and a million different people taking on the name. I've always found Crimson Dynamo to be so awesome. Something about him being a big, Russian, tanking, dark version of Iron Man is great. And depending on who is wearing the suit, Crimson Dynamo can be interesting in different ways. I really want to see Crimson Dynamo in the MCU. Versions of him that I love are from Superhero Squad and the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Crimson Dynamo is my favourite Iron Man villain. So what are your top 5 Iron Man villains? Let me know in the comments below, and may the Force be with you.